Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back into another episode of Fake Therapy with your host, me, Maria Womack, here again. I want to take a moment to thank my wonderful sponsors for putting so much funding and help into the show. And just kidding, I don't have any sponsors. That would be a dream if I had one sponsor. That'd be fucking nuts to have somebody support me like that. But no, I'm not quite on that level yet. I feel like the second I have someone showing interest, saying that they would want to sponsor anything I did, I'd be like, wow, I made it, dude. That's just so crazy. Um, I have been getting some good feedback on the podcast, which makes me feel so good, better than you know. It really does mean a lot to me. The last episode that we did last time was with my friend Stacy, and we talked about, being sex positive, sex work, and stuff like that. And there were people who have never talked to me about the show before. I would see them share the episode, and it would really surprise me. And I'd be like, oh my God, thank you so much. And they would just be like, you're welcome. I really dig what you're about, what you guys are about. I'm like, wow. I feel like I fall in love with everybody that shows me or anything I do any interest, honestly. Uh, that makes us automatic best friends. And I hope that you're ready for that affection from me. I also had there was part of the episode that we talked about how I was getting really upset for a while, noticing people unfollowing me and shit. So I guess one of my friends had he still listens to the podcast, but he had muted me because I was posting sexier stuff, trying to promote all the other content that I was trying to do and sell. And he was like, hey, I just listened to this episode. I really enjoyed it. I just wanted you to know that my girlfriend doesn't like me following sex workers on social media. And so I had to mute your post. But that doesn't mean that I don't support you or anything. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just how my girlfriend feels. And how could I even argue with that, honestly? I know that he is so happy, and I always see him say things about his girlfriend, how in love he is, and how just at peace he looks. And for him to be so honest with me and be like, hey, I did mute you because of this, but that does not mean that I don't like you anymore. That really meant a lot to me too. I really appreciated that, and I was like, how could I even go against that? I totally respect that. That's totally fine. And I just think he's such a gentleman for saying it as poised as he did. It was really nice. And then other than that one, sometimes I'll upload episode and it doesn't get that much attention or whatever, which isn't that big of a deal. And I'll be like, oh, okay, it's just whatever. And then months later, someone will be like, oh my gosh, I love this episode. It was my favorite one. And I was like, whoa, it's crazy. Thank you. I don't know. This thing is really bringing me closer to people and opening up my friendship options, which I really, really like. I really enjoy that. Oh, if you haven't noticed by this point, I'm doing a solo episode. I'm just sitting here talking to myself because it's just me today, which is fine. I like doing this too. I feel like I could do a whole podcast just talking to myself. Maybe that could be a thing. I don't know. There's always ideas spurting in this brain. You never know what it's going to come up with. Um, but yeah, thank you to everybody who likes my content, shares my content, engages in conversation with me about stuff I talk about on the podcast. I'm really open to talk to just about anybody in the world that there is. As long as you don't have ill intentions, of course, you know? I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah. It's funny cuz I was talking to Javin about people coming on the show because it's been kind of slow here lately and not popping out episodes as much as I hope to but I don't know, it's just no, there hasn't been the right guest to come at the right time. It's just timing and everyone's scheduling, and it's not even me being you can't be on, or people saying no to me. It's just the timing is not right. I don't know. But he was like, "Hey, you should have this guy on because he lives in our town, and I feel like he could be good on it." He also is a great artist, great musical artist, and he has stuff to promote too. So I like having people on like that as well, give them a chance to uh share also what they're doing creatively, blah 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 blah. So he was like, "Yeah, you should ask him." And I was like, "Okay." I messaged him right then, and he was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was thinking about the first time I met this dude, not Javin, but the guy that he suggested. And it was years ago. Um I was probably 18 years old. And I was at my friend's house where her and her boyfriend at the time were having this party of oh my God, how many people were here? 20 people in this small ass apartment. And it was we called it an acid party because everybody there was tripping on acid. So we had all these activities in a dancing area, arts and crafts area. There's the glow stick area, and everyone's just hanging out in the middle of the night, just doing whatever on this acid or whatever it was. So I met this guy for the very first time, and he was tripping on acid, and I was tripping on acid. But I don't. Whenever I do something like that, I usually take one hit or something because I am very petite and my tolerance is not very high. I mean, I don't know if being petite has anything to do with it. That's what people tell me, so I just go along with it. I feel like it's true. So I'm on one hit of acid. This guy is a pretty big, tall guy, and he's I've done 3, 4 hits of acid. I'm at the time I was weirdo, and I remember we're hanging out on the stairs because there was the staircase, and he's spread out on the stairs, just full body, just I'm on acid, just loosey goosey. And I was like, this dude is so weird. Who is this guy? And I was like, I definitely have to share that with him. When I talked to him, that my first impression of him was that he was so weird. And I don't even know specifically why. Why? Because he's on acid and I'm on acid? Why? Why am I make a big deal about it? I was like, this guy's weird. And then I had this epiphany while I was talking to Javin, because I was discussing this whole thing with him at dinner and stuff. And I was like, I feel I used to be more judgmental though, and I used to be almost snobby to people, thinking oh, the friends I have are the coolest people, pretty much. The perfect combination of cool and nice. So these are my my people, And, like, anybody that I don't really know that well, it's like, "No new friends. Oh, you're weird," whatever, and I used to be so quick to be like, "Oh, you're weird," or, like, "I'm gonna, like, write you off. I don't really need to, like, make any new friends right now," and, like, "You're kinda weird." Like, that's with my mentality at one point. So I was like, "I feel like I used to be snobbier," and Javin goes, "Yeah, sometimes with, a lot of my friends." And I was like, "What?" I, like, didn't realize it was that bad where, like, I was, like, snobby to a lot of people, or at least, like, gave off that vibe. Like, I also used to be more quiet, and I still am, like, very quiet sometimes if I'm in, like, a new atmosphere or I'm around people that I don't know that well. It is getting better as I get older, but, like, especially as, like, a 18, 19-year-old girl when Javid and I were, like, very new. I guess, like, I was, like, being fucking snobby to his friends, and I fucking hate that. Why was I like that? I, like, didn't realize it was to the extent that it was, I guess, and, like, I wouldn't call it snobby at the time. But, like, yeah, it was definitely, like, be like, "Oh, he's weird. Oh, that person is, like, not for me." I don't know. And I just, like, wasn't friendly. I wasn't as friendly. That's what it was, like, not like I was snobby. Maybe I was a little snobby, but I wasn't friendly, and I could have been friendlier. I hope that I'm friendlier now. I really hate that, like, he even had to be like, "Yeah, you were, like, kinda snobby to my friends." Like, what kind of fucking bitch does that to, like, her boyfriend's friends? I, like, want him to feel like he could have friends and not have to worry about me being, like, judgmental or, like, snobby to, like, who he wants to spend time with. Like, what the fuck? That's so fucked up of me. But, I'd like to think that I got better and, that I am more friendly now, hopefully. There is no need to be snobby, dude. Don't be like I like know so many like snobby girls now that I'm like, yuck. Like, what the fuck? Who are you, bitch? And like the fact that like I was like kind of like that, I'm like, oh, damn, that really sucks. So, maybe that's just like a young girl thing too, that you're like kind of snobby. I don't know. I'm just making excuses now. Just don't be snobby, Maria, and like nobody else needs to be snobby to anybody. Like you don't even know somebody that well that you don't know, right? Like obviously. So like don't be snobby and don't judge people. I think I've gotten a lot better about uh being open to like different kinds of people now. Yeah. But I consciously have to be like, okay, you were acting this way and you need to not act that way. You need to act this way. Isn't that weird? Oh, God. Okay. Does anybody out there think that I'm snobby? If you do, and you feel like I'm like full of shit and that I haven't been working on it as much as I should be, if you've ever gotten the snobby vibe from me recently or maybe in the past, like let me know and like let's talk it out really quick. Because like I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings and I don't it's like how I like care about what people think of me and like I don't want people to think of me in like this ill light of like she's like snobby or she like thinks she's like better than everybody else. It's fucking stupid, dude. But yeah, let me know. Let me know. uh I've been thinking a lot lately about obviously we're in a pandemic, everybody knows, God, everybody knows and like I feel like people are like, "Oh my god, she's gonna bring this up again." But yeah, we're in a pandemic and like I've seen like some people here and there. Obviously I was like going to work and stuff like again, but I like my best friends, uh Stacy and Lane, I haven't seen them like this whole fucking time pretty much. Like I talk to them on the phone and stuff like that, but like we haven't had personal like in-person girl time since Stacy's birthday, which was like in June. It was still the middle of the pandemic, but like things were opening back up again. And it was also her birthday. So we were like, we're not going to let your birthday go to fucking like dust in the wind. We're going to celebrate. Like we had already gone through months of pandemic by June. So we were like, we have to celebrate your birthday. The first, she like came to Pensacola and we were like, we're going to hang out in Pensacola for a little bit for your birthday. The day that they came over, it was the first day that the bars opened back up. And we talked about that the last episode too, but we had so much fun. So much fun. I needed so bad. And now, that was months ago, right? Because it's September now. And I feel like, I almost feel like I'm not doing the right thing by like not hanging out with them. Like, it's a thing where like, okay, that was her birthday. Like we had to hang out, right? But now it's like it's not really anyone's birthday. It's kind of just like, oh, I miss you, but oh, there's a pandemic. Like we're supposed to be social distancing as much as we can, especially because I think we had all agreed that like going out to the bars was like a bad idea. We were like we had a lot of fun, but like that was probably a bad idea. We were like hanging out with these strangers and I like hit their blunt. Like I shouldn't have done that. And I was like acting crazy, like dropping my phone everywhere. That's like besides the point. That was like majorly not social distancing. I just met this guy. I'm like hitting his blunt because he like hands it to me. Idiot. But yeah, we all agree that was like maybe a poor decision. And so, I don't know. I haven't been hanging out with them and it feels wrong. It feels like I'm almost like using the pandemic as an excuse. Like, I have been guilty in the past of like people asking me to hang out, and I'm like, oh, I can't because I'm like working or I'm doing this. Like, I'll make some excuse up. It seems like all the time. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, is this really true? Or am I just like avoiding people? Is the pandemic like the worst thing for me and like fueling my tendency to not make plans to hang out with people? I feel like that's starting to not be very good for me. Of course, we have to social distance and stuff like that. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm like making too big of a deal about it and that I'm being a bad friend and I need to like go physically hang out with my friends. I like really can't decide if I'm like doing the right thing or not. But I don't know. I should probably do that soon. And like I don't know, say fuck coronavirus sometimes. I don't know. See, it's a very very difficult situation. It really is cuz I'm like really sick of it and I'm obviously taking it seriously most of the time, all of the time, but then I'm like, is me taking this so seriously fucking up my like friendship and my social life? But is that my fault? Or is that just like what I'm supposed to do? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Story of my life. I don't know what I'm supposed to fucking do, dude. Let's talk about the masks or no masks situation. Specifically in the workplace, okay? Because like my job, a lot of you know, I've been working as a hairstylist for years now, almost 7 years, for a very long time. So what do hairstylists do? They like they cut people's hair, they style their hair. How close are they to these people that they're styling? They're like less than a foot away from these people. Like they're all up in their business, okay? So my field of work was changing. Um, by now, we are wearing masks. The stylists are wearing masks. So at first, when we came back from shutdown, so they were shut down for like month and a half or so. And my little quarantine from that was even longer because I like dipped before they closed because I was really uncomfortable. This was like in March. Yeah. And then they had closed down, they had opened back up, and I probably came back like 2 weeks later. So my little like pure quarantine was like 2 months or so. So when I came back, the rules were like all the stylists were wearing masks, but the customers didn't have to. But then things changed, the numbers were rising, things were getting scary again. There were places that were closed, they opened back up, they closed again. So we had to change our policy to now the customers have to wear masks. Okay. This has been such a difficult thing in my life that I have to deal with because one, we didn't make the customers wear them at first, so now they're like, what the fuck? Second, people are like, how are you going to cut my hair with a mask on? And I'm like, do I not get asked this like 10 times a day? Well, I'm the hairstylist, and that's my problem to figure out, okay? I just want to be like, shut the fuck up. You are not the first person that I'm like having a cut with a mask on, okay? Like, we've been doing it, so why don't you just watch and see how I do it? And then if you have to complain at the fucking end, dude, when I'm done. It's gonna be fine. Wear the mask, maybe like take the loops off when I need to get around the ear area and hold the mask up to your mouth or something. Maybe do something like that. It's not impossible. It's for the safety of everybody, right? Of course everyone would have to be wearing a mask. Of course. There'd be people who there'd be people that come up to the door with a mask and then like take their mask on when they come in the door. Or like people who are wearing a mask in the salon and then you go to talk to them and for them to talk to you back, they pull their mask down. And I'm constantly have to be like, put your mask back up. Hey, can you put that mask on for me? Thank you so much. And like the most easygoing like customer service way that I can, but at the same time like it's so important. This pandemic is everywhere. You cannot avoid it. That's what everyone's talking about. I know that you know what you're supposed to do, and like you're doing the dumbest things, like taking your mask down to speak to me. Why don't you just enunciate and I can hear you, you know? But so that was a problem. There would be stylists that I worked with that were bad about like coming in the building with no mask, where like I'm not like part of management or anything. I happen to be a responsible person who takes her work seriously, and like any kind of work seriously. Any kind of work that I'm doing, I'm going to take it seriously. It's important to me that like I'm doing stuff right, and it's important to me that I'm like presenting things professionally and whatever it is. So like, we're cutting hair, doing hair, and like such a big part of our job before all of this was sanitation. And now it's like really a test. Like, how much do you care about sanitation? And like, how much do you care about keeping your client safe? Okay. For me, it matters a lot. So the fact that I'm like having to, just a regular stylist at this job, have to like remind management and like the owners and stuff like, hey, you need to be wearing your masks, and we need to like you already told us that this policy was we have to make customers wear the mask now, but like not everyone is like telling the customers to wear masks, and not everyone's getting their hair done with a mask. And I'm like, now I'm almost the only one. It felt like I was the only one that was like, hey, like, put your mask on. Hey, like, you need to tell them to put a mask on. Or, like, people would come in the building, and I'm like, mask, mask, mask. To where, like, I'm like putting my own signs up that you're supposed to wear a mask, because that's what they told me we were supposed to be doing, and then they're not doing it. It's like almost to acknowledge that you acknowledged it, but then, like, when it comes down to if you're going to do it or not, like, nah, you don't have to. Like, my manager literally went up to people and was like if they were like, do I have to wear a mask? Like, he'd be like, well, just like wear it on your ear hanging down so like it looks like you have one. Almost to where like if someone important walked in, like, oh, put your mask on, but like you don't have to do it right now. Like, what the fuck? That really irks me. And like, yeah, I was doing this girl's hair color, and she has a mask on. She's going to be there for hours and she's wearing a mask. And her boyfriend, who like doesn't even have to be there, who the fuck is he? He's just sitting there, just like waiting for her to be done. Weird. And he's not wearing a mask. Like, you don't even have to be in here and you're not wearing a mask. Like, what? Just stuff like that. And that was like one of the people that like my manager told him that like he could just have it dangling on his ear and that would be fine. As long as he had it and wasn't wearing it properly, what's the point then? What is the fucking point? Or like people come in with a mask with it on their chin and I like have to be like, can you put that mask on for me? Like, why are you going to make somebody say that? Like, how dare you even make me go there with you? And, oh yeah, like, there's this girl, this stylist that got hired, and, uh, she's a face shield girl. Which, I mean, I see the shields and I'm like, okay. Most of the time when I see someone taking it really seriously, they have the shield with a mask. She has a shield on, but like her shield is like worn incorrectly to where it's worn almost like a visor and it covers her eyes and like maybe the top of her nose, but not the bottom of her nose and definitely not her mouth. She comes in with no mask. She goes into her station and pulls that shield out and puts it on in the middle of the floor. So it's like she doesn't wear it anywhere else and she doesn't wear a mask. She's like, I don't wear a mask. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? That's weird. And then she has this face shield. And I've like gone to my manager and my owner so many times. Like, the shield is like ridiculous. It's like so inappropriate that we're all wearing masks and she's wearing the shield that's worn on correctly. You guys have seen her wear it too, and like you don't think anything of it. And I sit right next to her and I'm very uncomfortable. And then people will come in and be like, do I have to wear a mask while I'm getting my haircut? And she'd be like, no. Which you do. You do. Our policy is you do. So I'm like, what? Why is she telling everyone to take their masks off? Why is she encouraging everyone to take their masks off? And I'm like looking like this fucking like girl with a stick up her ass being like, put your mask on, put your mask on. Like in comparison, that's how I feel I look like. And I feel, it makes me feel really annoying when I need someone to like back me up and be like, that is a policy that you are supposed to be wearing a mask. What the fuck? Why? So I don't know. I feel like I've been like constantly berating my coworkers and like, well, not all my coworkers, definitely not all my coworkers, but like upper management, like, hey, we need to like get on this with the fucking mask. And they tell me one thing and then I see them try to I see their lack of effort to implicate it in real life, or like they forget or something. And I've even had to go to them and be like, hey, like why didn't you, this person came in and left and didn't have a mask on the entire time they were here. Why didn't you say anything? And I just get this response like, oh, I'll try harder, or oh, I'm only human. Is that supposed to make me feel bad or something? Like, what? I'm like the youngest person in the room and like I have the least authority in the room and I'm having to like get on top of these people that are like supposed to be running the place. And it's been a problem for like a really long time, dude. I'm not even fucking kidding. My work environment kind of fucking sucks. And I've been going through this loop of like, oh, like it sucks, it sucks, it sucks. I'm like at my breaking point, and then I'm like, oh, like maybe I was just in a bad mood. Maybe it's not that bad, like blah, 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 blah. And then it'll happen over and over and over again where I'm like hating my life there. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I was just overreacting. But if I feel that way all the time, it's like, what the fuck? It sucks. And like, there's other issues too with like management and how it's like poorly ran in general, like aside from the fucking coronavirus shit. Like, but this is like the nail on the head, okay? Because like recently, one of my coworkers, okay, got tested positive. And it was a whole situation where like she was like kind of sick, blah, 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 blah. She was like, I don't feel good. She had to come into work anyway because like they weren't like, oh my gosh, you're sick? Okay, well, let's just not risk it and you stay home, okay? So sorry, feel better. Like, that's how it should have been handled, but it was like a thing where uh, they were like, oh, well, like, nobody else can cover you, so go into work and work on these people sick, even though you don't feel good. So she did, and she was there for like a couple hours, like showing symptoms pretty heavily, and then she left. The weekend went by. She had to wait till like Monday, I guess, to get a test, and then she did, and it was positive. So I was like in contact with her about it all, and like my owner was like in at the salon while I'm like texting my friend about how her results came back positive, and I'm like, why isn't like my owner telling anybody about this? She's like literally going about her day like it's like willy-nilly, like everything's fine, blah 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 blah. And so I like told my other coworkers because like we have to know, like, what the fuck, we that's something that we definitely need to know. Whether you feel like that's no one's business or anything, I mean, I guess I can understand that, but we are a salon of like 7 stylists. It's a very small building. We are told that we don't have to wear our masks in the break room, and we sit side by side each other eating lunch and like sharing food and stuff. You know? Like, we definitely are like close to where if one of us got sick, you need to like pull everybody aside in the office or something and be like, "Hey, we had a positive case, so I advise that you go get tested." And we were like so mad that she like didn't tell us cuz I don't think she really was going to tell us, honestly. Like 100% in my heart feel like she was like going to keep it to herself, and like if my coworker didn't tell me about her positive results, then we would have never found out. I feel like my owner so badly just wants to like keep money flowing and like keep things going, even though it's like hang on by a thread. Like the management sucks, like the way it's ran fucking sucks, but like she's still trying to go because she's still trying to make that dollar, even though there's so much that needs to be fixed. There's so much, and then now there's this that we have to deal with, and you're like not telling anybody when we all need to get tested. And she was like, pretend like she was gonna tell us, but I really don't think she was. There's plenty of times where she could have, and she like didn't. And then we went the whole day with her not saying anything, and she like we had to confront her, and you could tell she had no idea what to do. She was like, she just had no idea what to do. And of course, like me and my coworkers are like, we need to like shut our salon down, at least this salon, and like close it down for cleaning, like so many other like reputable businesses have when someone tests positive. And yeah, you need to like suggest that we all get tested. And she was kind of just like, go get tested if you want to, but I'm not. She said that. I said, why not? And she's like, I'm just not. So she's just one of those people that like doesn't want to know. I don't think that she believes in like the pandemic. She probably thinks it's all a joke, and she just pretends to care when she really doesn't. Like, and it's been so stressful for me, like trying to get her and like other management people to care when they don't care. Like, this should be so strict, and it's just not strict enough for me. And I'm not like even a strict person, but like I just want to take this seriously because we do have a lot of elderly clientele. We do have like people that come in on breathing machines, dude, and like you don't know who like is like highly susceptible to it, but they risk it to like come get serviced by us. So we need to respect that by like keeping them safe and us safe. But when you're not making sure that your employees are safe, like, and it's just so obvious that you don't care, and like me and my coworkers have come up to management several times to express concerns, and it kind of just goes in one ear and out the other, and like nothing gets fixed. It's just like so fucking frustrating. And then I don't want to like get to this point where I'm like, like, oh, well, like nobody else tries, so that means like I don't have to try anymore. And then it's just gonna like go down such a deep fucking hole that I just would rather like, just remove myself. Like, it's all becoming too much for me, and, like, I was already so stressed out with just, like, the day-to-day, how things were handled in different areas before this whole coronavirus shit, that this has just been, like, the nail on the coffin for me. I was so pissed that she, like, wouldn't even tell us that, like, one of us was sick. And then she was like, "Well, if you're not feeling any symptoms, like, don't go get tested. You don't have to get tested." And I'm like, "We should definitely all get tested." I don't know. It was just, like, really crazy to me. So, like, um, I kind of me and, like, 2 other girls were like, "All right, we're gonna, like, pack our stuff up for now, and we're going to go get tested and wait for our test results." But I'm like, "This is the perfect excuse for me to, like, never fucking come back, honestly." And, like, me and other people felt the same way, just because, like, the conditions of like, our work conditions fucking suck, dude. Like, it's just always something. It's always something, and I, like, don't wanna get too in detail about it because I already have, like, been very in detail about it. But there's just so much more shit that, like, makes me feel like I'm, like, not in the right place. And, like, I also, like, am a very loyal person, especially when it comes to, like, jobs and stuff. Like, I'll be at a job for a long time. I'm not, like, the type of person to, like, switch up jobs all the time. So if I, like a job, I'll try to stay there as long as I can, and I, like, don't even like this job anymore. I haven't really for a while. It's, like, getting really ratchet and, like, not very well taken care of, and, I don't know, I don't want my, like, blind loyalty to, like, get in the way of, living my life wrong, or, like, wasting my time on something that's, like, on an environment in general that's not good for me, and me being like, "Oh, like, this is, like, my," and getting, like, too caught up in, like, the day-to-day routine that, like, I need to, like, wake up and be like, "Oh, wait, I'm, like, not happy here." Like, I need to do something. I can't just, like, be loyal all the time if, like, I don't know, I feel like they don't take that much care of me. Like, they don't care about me that much, obviously. So, like, fuck it. I don't know if I don't think in my head now, I'm like, I can't ever go back there. Like, I can't ever go back. So, like, in my head, I, like, kinda quit, but I still have to go through the confrontation of, like, going to, like, my manager and stuff and being like, "Hey, like, I really am quitting." I just don't know how to say it because, like, I've never quit a job and, like, not cried, like, tears down my face to, like, who I was having to quit to. I don't know why it's, like, so much pressure for me. I just, like, don't wanna disappoint people, and I don't wanna make anybody mad, and, even if I'm, like, totally in the right and people are like, "You need to, like, work somewhere that, like, is better for you, that treats you better, that, like, cares about you." Even if that's all true, I still have, like, this weird guilt of, like, "Oh, I wanna avoid this confrontation so bad that I'll put it off and not do it." And I don't wanna, like, keep that from, keeping me in an unhappy spot, you know? I don't know. And then, I mean, it could just be like this particular environment is discouraging me from, like, doing hair at all, but I think maybe taking a break from hair during the whole pandemic thing for a little bit might be a good idea. So, honestly, I'm, like, trying to find a whole different job right now. I've been actively looking for new jobs that aren't hair related at all. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm looking online and there's some good possible potentials, but nothing really, like, for sure yet. And it's a very scary feeling. Like, I know, like, I could go back to that other job if I really have to, but I really, really don't fucking want to ever again. Like, I'm drowning in it. And I'm just having to pick up the pieces for these people that, can't even take care of themselves, so they're definitely not taking care of me, and it's like all of this weight is on me for this whole environment to work, and like I just can't do it. And I'm nobody. Like I'm not like management or anything, and I don't want to be if I'm already this overwhelmed, you know? Fuck. Um anyway, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to do something different. I saw like this marketing job, which I don't know, probably not going to be for me. Because I think it's one of those things where you like, I like actually went through the first interview with a guy, and I think it's like one of those things where like you go up to people and you're like, "Hi, do you have time to hear about why you should switch to AT&T today?" Like stuff like that. Mm. I'm like I could talk to people, and I'm really great at customer service shit. Like I'm really great. I'm not intimidating. I'm friendly. I'm some people think I'm cutesy. They like talking to me. So, I could get along with people that way. But I like don't have that aggressiveness to like be like a salesman, I don't think. And I don't want to go up to people that like aren't seeking out my services and making them like want what I'm doing. That's really weird. So I like told the guy that I mean, I'm a great interviewee. Like the interview over the phone went great. He was like, I want to do a second interview with you. Even though he told me at first, at the beginning, he was like, after this phone call, I might give you a call like next week to see if you get a second round of interviews. But if I don't call you, doesn't mean I don't like you. And by the end of the phone call, he was like, I definitely want a second interview with you. Yeah, you know? So, I don't know if I'm going to go though. I'm 90% sure I'm probably going to cancel it. I'm really waiting on this other job to call me back. It's like this child care center that works with autistic kids, and they said that they're entry level and they're like willing to train you and stuff. And like that sounds fucking awesome to me. I love kids, and I've always like wanted to work around kids, and I'm also like very calming and I'm very understanding, and I think that I could work well with autistic children, possibly. I'm open to it. That seems like the coolest job to me right now compared to like the marketing thing. I would rather do that. And I would rather do that than like uh, go do fucking hair. I think I'm so burnt out from it. And I just have had a bad experience doing it with the specific company that I'm with now, that I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do it right now. Even though that makes me the most money, like that's my skill, right? So it's like it sucks that I'm like challenged to stray away from that. It's going to be really hard. Anyway, so I mean, I'm hoping that that place calls me back. I really hope, because that sounds so cool. Like that's that's like the positive change I think that I need. Like sometimes doing hair feels superficial and stupid, and like, oh, I'm just like it's all about looks, right? And like this would be like actually helping people and like actually making differences to people and like helping children. Like I'm tired of these like stupid ass adults that like should know better. Like these are children, and like I could help them, and I don't know. I think it could be cool. I'm hoping that they call me back. I really really want them to, really bad. What else did I apply for? Oh yeah, I like applied to work at this place where they do like family portraits. That could be cute. And I could like decently work a camera, right? So I could like move up to like taking the pictures. You know? I could be like the bitch taking the pictures. That'd be cool. But at this point I'm fantasizing about the most like normal things. I'm like, oh, I could like be a barista. That'd be fucking sick. Like, and I think it's just because it's different. Like, I think too, like, there was a time where I thought being a hairstylist would be really cool to get into. And like, now I'm just like so tired of it. And I think just like anything different, it's appealing. Like anything that's different than what I'm doing, because I just need to change it in some way. I feel like in some way I need to like change my life, or like I'm just like in this rut of like doing something wrong or like not living my life right, and it feels like it is my career and my job. Okay, it's not my romantic life. It's not like it's not like vices that I like have to deal with. It's not like having bad friends or like bad family or like having to cut anybody off or anything like that, having to change my life. It feels very specific to like my job and my career and like how I feel like that defines my worth somehow, which is not even like true. I don't know. If I'm fantasizing about being a barista, I mean, it's obviously, I don't know. I just want to do something different. And I feel like doing something different will give me like a nice mental break that I need. So, I mean, even though I know I could go back to that other job right now, like right now they think that I'm just like waiting for my test results to come back. And me, I'm over here like I never want to go back there no matter what. I'm looking for something else. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. If I go back to that other job though, I am going to feel like the biggest fucking loser in the world. And I'm going to be really unhappy going back. I'm probably going to be like in tears. That's how badly I don't want to go back. I don't know. It just like really hit me in a weird way. How much I don't want to go back. And on top of like being really close around people, like at such a sensitive time, I don't know. It's definitely like heightened a lot of stress for me in a lot of areas. So yeah, hopefully I can get something like that. The things that sound coolest to me as being that behavioral technician or being a barista. I don't know why. Yeah, the behavioral technician would be so fucking cool. I can't believe that they said that it's entry level, that they could like train you everything. And I'm like, wow, that's really impressive that someone would give me a chance. Because I'm a fast learner and I am very passionate about any kind of work that I'm like committing to get into. So I know that I'm going to take it seriously and I'm going to be good at anything. I could do anything. Okay? And then the barista thing, I would save so much money on coffee. It's going to be awesome. I'm like punishing myself right now because I'm like technically unemployed. Like I said, I know I can go back to that other job, but I really don't want to. So in my head, I'm like unemployed right now. And I'm like not getting I told myself I'm not going to get my nails done. I'm not going to go get pedicures. I also like don't know what my potential job, my future potential job could be as far as like drug testing. So I'm like it's like I smoked weed yesterday. I took one hit and then I was like, I need to not smoke for a while. So that's another punishment I think that I'm punishing myself for being unemployed, quote unquote, is stuff like that. I also spent like $90 on a fucking detox thing in case I do have to drug test because I'm like paranoid about it. I would hate to like get everything set up with that behavioral technician job and then like a drug test be my downfall. So I'm trying to take a break from smoking weed and I also have this like weird detox thing coming in the mail. $90, wow. So I don't know. We'll see how I do without smoking for a while because I was like doing this thing online because it was like this website that's like, let's find the best detox kit for you. So like answer these questions. And it was like, how often do you smoke? How much do you weigh? What's your gender? Blah, 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 blah. It's weird. And they were like, yeah, you need this kit because you have extreme exposure. Extreme exposure? Oh my God, that makes it sound so bad. But maybe I like shouldn't. Maybe this break from smoking will be good for me and I could just like really focus on shit. I don't know. I feel like that'd be good for me. Sometimes I feel like it does get in the way of stuff, for me at least, sometimes, when I'm like smoking all day or like it just doesn't make me feel good. So maybe I just need to like reset. Not like I'm like fucking straight edge or anything. Not like there's anything wrong with that, but I think I just need to take a break from like smoking so much weed, seriously. I like my memory is like going bad and I'm trying to like be serious and I'm also trying to like punish myself and take things away from myself until I like reach my goal, which is, changing my life and getting this new job that's gonna fix everything, right? But what are some instances where like you were at a job that you hated and like you finally quit? Like what was the last straw? I want to hear your last straws for quitting jobs. I think that'd be really interesting. And I think it would make me feel better about my situation because, like, even though I was really unhappy and I was like, I'm so sure that I don't want to do it anymore, there's this guilt that I have that's like, I should be there. And it sucks. It definitely sucks. It's like that Asian guilt shit, you know? You know what I mean. Anyway, I thought it'd be cool to maybe like look up maybe some tips on how to change your life. Tips for changing your life. Maybe I could find like a cool list. So let's do that right now, actually. There's all kinds of stuff on the internet, you know? Lots of self-help, lots of different things. Oh yeah, I'm also like thought that maybe I could like open up like an online thrift shop because I have a lot of pieces that I could sell. And I haven't done it because I've been discouraged with the like shipping uh I can't think of the word. Okay, the way that you ship. I don't know how to do it. I've never shipped anything. So like I need to learn how to do that and then I could do it. Like I never know like what I should charge for the shipping or like what I need to specifically ship off an article of clothing. I'm trying to like look up videos about it. So hopefully that could be a thing that could like get me some money and I don't know, be a cool little project for me. Anyway, tips to change your life. Let's see how we feel about what we can find through our research. What is this? How many tips are there on this one? 10? Sure, I guess let's try this one. Okay. This is called 10 Essential Tips to Change Your Life. I found this on lifeoptimizer.org. Here we go. It's going to fix all my problems. Okay. Here are 10 tips to change your life. Number 1, slow down. To change your life, you need time to think and reflect. If you are always busy, you won't have the time to think about your life, let alone taking action to change it. You won't have the room to apply the tips below. So slow down and make the room for change. I feel like that's really good advice. I feel like me being off work now and transition trying to find something else, I do have that time to like really think about what I want to do and like the purpose of like why I'm doing it. I also, when I was working at this job I hated, I think I was just so busy that I just didn't have the time to think about like uh, what I really should be doing. And then when I did realize that, I would get busy again and would forget about it and just be like, oh, like that wasn't real. I was just in a bad mood or something. Of course I'm supposed to be doing this. This is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, that's really good advice. Just slow down and like really take a look at things. Tip number 2, be willing to change. Willingness is essential. It's your life. Nobody can change it but you. But if you aren't willing to change, then nothing in this world can make you do so. To build the willingness to change, first you should realize that your life can be better than it is now. No matter how good your life is, it could always be improved. On the other hand, it doesn't feel hopeless if your life doesn't seem good right now. You can always change your life for the better. Be willing to change. I feel like I'm pretty fucking willing to change, dude. Like, I'm trying like not to smoke and stuff. I mean, we're only on day 2 here, but I feel like it's gonna work. Like I'm willing to do that, and I was pretty like I was doing that every day. Like that was my routine was to smoke every day. So yeah, I'm willing to change my lifestyle somewhat to change a little bit for a little. Well, no, I want to change for the long run. So I don't know. Be willing to, I'm willing to change. Yeah, I am. Are you? I think that's good, it's pretty solid, essential advice for changing. Be willing to change. Number 3, accept responsibility. Accepting responsibility, can I read? Accepting responsibility for your life is a must. Don't blame other people for the bad things that happen in your life. Don't blame your family, friends, boss, or the economy. Whether your life goes up or down depends on you and you alone. Once you take the responsibility, real change is within your reach. Okay, I get that. It is very easy to blame other people. And I guess I have done that to an extent too. I have blamed my boss and, blamed the fucking pandemic, and I've blamed, you know, these customers, these people that don't wear their masks. And, yeah. But now I feel like I am taking responsibility by deciding that I'm gonna do something else. That's what I'm doing, is trying to accept responsibility and be like, okay, it's up to me to take myself out of this situation. Check. Okay, we're doing good so far. I think that's good advice. Number 4, find your deepest values. Deep down in your heart, there are some principles that you know is true. Isn't it are true? Principles that you know are true. Whatever. Take the time to find them. What do you think is most valuable? What is the most valuable thing in your life? What principles do you think you must follow to live a fulfilling life? These are the values you need to align yourself with. Find them and remind yourself constantly about them. Okay. I feel like this is one of the things that pushed me to decide that I don't want to work that job anymore. Finding my deepest values, because I feel like I do have different values than the people that I'm being challenged by. And I feel like I recognized that like a long time ago, that we have different values. Like, you are willing to risk safety of people to run not even that great of a business. And I care about people, and I care about the work environment, and I care about everyone being happy and taking care of people that take care of me. And we have different values. So surround yourself with people that have the same values as you. That's really good advice. But hopefully you don't have bad values and then you're just surrounding yourself with more people with bad values. You need to decide like if your values are like good and just good. Are they good values or not? Number 5, find your cause. Change is not easy because there is inertia you need to overcome. Just like a space shuttle needs a powerful rocket to overcome the Earth's gravity, you also need a powerful source of energy to overcome the inertia to change. Your cause is the source of energy you need. Your cause can give you the strength to overcome the inertia. To find your cause, find what matters to you. Yeah, I like don't know what my cause is. That's like, I feel like it's asking me like, why was I put on this earth? I don't know. I don't know the question. I don't know the answer to that question, like at all. And that's part of my huge problem. So we struggle with number 5, but we need to figure that out. That's a very complicated question. Do most 25, almost 26-year-olds know that by now? Or what? Let me know. Do you know your cause? Let me know. Okay, that one we struggle with. Number 6, replace limiting beliefs with empowering beliefs. Limiting beliefs are among the biggest obstacles that hinder you from changing your life. You need to identify them before you can effectively handle them. To identify your limiting beliefs, observe your mind for thoughts that contain phrases like, I can't, I won't be able to, I will always be, or there is no way. Avoid shit like that, they're saying. Whenever you find one, write it down. After some time, look at your list. These are your limiting beliefs. After identifying your limiting beliefs, you need to replace them with empowering beliefs. Write positive statements that counter the negative ones you wrote before and make positive affirmations using those statements. Do it whenever you realize that a limiting belief is at work. Okay, yeah, I could definitely be self deprecating, but sometimes I can be overly confident too. I feel like it's one way or the other. But it's hard for me to tell if like my overconfidence is that where I should be? Is that like normal confidence? Like have I earned that overconfidence or am I just like bullshitting myself? Is that's like the limiting belief that they're talking about. Like they're saying don't do that and just like believe in yourself all the time. I believe in myself or else I like wouldn't be doing stuff like this, but like I don't know. I could believe in myself more. I could definitely believe in myself more. But I also know people that like believe in themselves too much and give themselves too much credit and that aren't really shit. So I don't know. I feel like that very much depends on the person. So definitely like follow those other tips first before even acknowledging the limiting beliefs with empowering beliefs. Because you could like have an empowering belief in like a negative way, I feel like. But I mean, overall, believe in yourself. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I believe in myself. I believe in myself. Okay, let's move on. Number 7, replace bad habits with positive habits. Besides identifying limiting beliefs, you should also identify bad habits you have. Are these habits that drag you down? Are these habits that you know you need to break? List them all. Then, rather than focusing on breaking those habits, focus on creating new positive habits that replace them. For example, let's say the bad habit is watching too much TV. Rather than focusing on reducing your TV time, you should focus on building a positive habit that will use the time in a better way. For instance, you might want to build the habit of reading. Okay, I get it. Replacing bad habits with positive habits. What are my bad habits? I guess the weed thing was becoming a problem. I mean, not even becoming a problem, just like I feel like I am one of those people that like if some people are not like this. Some people can smoke all they want, they're fully functional, blah blah blah. For me, like, I couldn't do it if I was like going to go to work. Like it would hinder me if I like had to drive. I would get like really scared. Um Sometimes if I'm like trying to drive when I'm high or like I don't know. I just have this weird guilt about smoking sometimes. Or like it makes me forgetful or like not as proactive or focused. So I guess that me trying to like take a break from a little from that is kind of like what this is saying. But like, what's my positive habit going to be that I'm going to replace that with? I haven't really thought about that. I'm not really doing anything to replace it. I don't know. I'm like in a punishing myself kind of mood though, honestly. So I don't know if I'm gonna like replace that anytime soon. I do watch a lot of TV, but like I like watching TV because I don't know, I just like it, and I like watching movies and shit. I'm looking at it from more of like a film perspective and like looking at the actors and like thinking about the script and the dialogue. So I feel like I'm not just like blindly watching like trash TV. I'm like really thinking about it in like a technical way when I watch TV. So I don't know. That doesn't seem like a problem to me. I'm going to keep watching TV. Number 8, find a mentor. Finding a mentor can greatly help you improve your life. Not only can your mentor give you advice on what to do in certain situations, he can also warn you about possible pitfalls in your path. Without a mentor, most likely you will have to learn many lessons the hard way. Having a mentor will save you serious amounts of time. Getting a good mentor is not easy though. In many cases, you can't just expect someone to invest his time in you for nothing. At the very least, you should show that you are an open minded and teachable person. Furthermore, try to be useful to your mentor. Help him or her, I don't know why they say him, in any way you can and to make his job easier. This way, you send a message that you are a serious mentee that is worth investing in. Man, find a mentor. That would be awesome. Finding a mentor, I like would think more I need a mentor for like like doing film stuff or like podcast stuff. I would love a mentor, but I feel like that would take someone like seeing me and like having that interest in me so much that they're like, okay, like she has potential. I'm gonna help her. Like I'm gonna make it my job to help her. And I've never like really had a mentor. Everyone I know is like on my level, I feel like. I don't really have someone that's like such a hot shot that they would like be my mentor. I feel like we're all on the same level, everyone that I know. But if you listen to this, if you see this, if whatever you ever seen me in like one of those short films I've done, you want to be my mentor and you know what the fuck you're talking about, I guess be my mentor then. Ask me if I'll take you as my mentor and we'll see. I don't know. That's just like easier said than done, dude. Find a mentor. I feel like someone would have to see me and be like, that's her. She's gonna be a star. It's like my dream, but okay, it's like easier said than done. Find a mentor. I don't know. I don't know about that. Let's move on. Number 9, have the right expectation. Having the right expectation from the beginning is important. Otherwise, it's easy for you to be discouraged when things don't go as expected. Change takes time, especially if you want the change to last. Having the right expectation prepares you to be persistent in difficult times. Having the right expectation. Okay, I'm one of those people that definitely has the worst expectation. I usually have the worst expectation in the beginning. I always like kind of like prepare for the worst, hope for the best kind of like mindset. To where like if something bad happens, I don't want to be disappointed. I like set myself up for it, but I guess that's bad too because you're like anticipating something bad when like nothing bad could happen, you know? But like, have the right their expectations. Like how do you know if they're right or not? I feel like you shouldn't have, like, to an extent, shouldn't you just not have expectations because you're just like setting yourself up for something that like could be right or wrong? It's like saying that you have to like predict the future or something. I feel like that's a weird one. I feel like that one's weird. Number 9, have the right expectation. Like how is anyone supposed to know what to expect? Like you can't know. I don't like number 9. Number 9, have the right expectation is not approved. It is not fake therapy approved. Okay, let's pull it out of the gutter. Number 10, maintain the momentum. The most difficult part is always the beginning. Once you go through it, things will become easier if you maintain the momentum. Just think about pushing a car. The most difficult part is getting the car to start moving. Once it's moving, pushing, it will be easy as long as you don't let it stop again. Similarly, you should keep improving your life. Change your life day by day. As the quote above says, if you don't change, you don't grow. Okay, I missed that little quote. I don't know what she's talking about. But, okay, yeah, maintain the momentum. Yeah. I have trouble with that too because, like, I'm also, like, I can get very manic. I feel like what I'm going through now is, like, mania. Like, I'm definitely acting a little manic. So sometimes I'll, like, be, like, really it seems like I'm being really proactive and I'm, like, aggressively trying to, like, get shit together, and then I'm, like it, like, slips and it, like I lose the momentum. I don't know why I'm like that. I definitely need to change that. I will try. I don't know what to do to it, like, doesn't tell me. How does it tell me to maintain it? What is it I gotta read it again. The beginning is the hardest. Go through the beginning and then it gets easier. Okay. It says just keep doing it. Just don't do what you're doing and do the opposite of what you're doing and keep doing it. Okay. I'll try, dude. So yeah, that was 10 essential tips to change your life. Yeah, I mean that was pretty good overall, I think. I appreciated it. Yeah, I could take some things were whack, but some things were really good advice. So what did you guys think of those tips? Did you find any of those helpful or did you find any of them absolute bullshit? Let me know. Yeah, talk to me, guys. Send me a message. You can call me, text me. You can do anything. And I respond to everybody. Seriously, I will. Unless you're like trying to be like flirty weird. then as long as you have like something to actually talk about, then yeah, sure, I'm totally down. So yeah, I think that concludes this episode. I talked a lot to myself, and I hope I wasn't. I mean, I'm talking to myself, so I guess I am rambly. Hopefully, I haven't been so manic that I scared anybody off. And I hope that you continue to listen. And as long as you're rooting for me, I'm rooting for you. Thank you for listening to Fake Therapy. Love you so much.